A very happy good morning and welcome to all of you. In this session on demonstration of virtual labs on DIKSHA and augmented reality content which is developed by CIT and NCERT on ePathshala mobile app. Okay, so now I'm Dr. Yash from CIT and NCERT, and along with me the experts from CDEC, Miss Shrikala P, Miss Reshma Bhose and Miss Amrita Surya will be demonstrating the different content which is available on DIKSHA portals as virtual labs. So as we know that the virtual labs were launched on 29th July 2022 by the Minister of Education and it hosts a large number of content, and as per NEP 2020, the National Education Policy, which envisages that the content of various forms like futuristic content, like the content in augmented reality, virtual reality, virtual labs should be available to the students to perform the different experiments and to see how things they can see better in these by having this type of content. So for example, when we are teaching any concept, so showing a 2D image and showing a 3D simulation has a lot of difference. So today we will be demonstrating this content, and also you will see that how you can embed as per this content in your pedagogy and in your teaching learning process. So first I will be demonstrating the content from NCERT's ePathshala mobile app, which is for augmented reality, and the content that has been developed from class 9th and 10th. So let's start. So first we need to install that app. So let me share my screen. Okay, so you are able to see my mobile phone. So definitely the app is available on Play Store. So currently it is available on Play Store for Android users. So if you go to the Play Store, because ePathshala is our branding name, okay, so we have the different apps in ePathshala, and one is ePathshala AR. So type ePathshala AR. So now this is the app which is available on Play Store, okay, and we also updating the beta version for the second version which is available, and I will be demonstrating from that app only. Okay, so you can download your app from this portal and then see how the content is being rendered. So now let me open this app. So this is the basic structure of this app, where we have a very simple menu, and you can see that you can choose the content from the different classes. Okay, so for example, you can choose the class. So currently the content is available for class 9th and 10th. So say for example, I am choosing the class 10th. Okay, now the subject which is currently available for science, so you can choose the chapter. So for example, I am taking the chapter number 1, which is chemical reaction and equations. Now I am taking the topic. So for example, I am taking the first topic, which is burning of magnesium ribbon. Now you need to download a small content from the internet. Let's click on the load activity, and the content will be downloading on the app. In the meantime, you can open your textbook. Okay, so as I have chosen the content from the class 10, so this is the NCERT. All the augmented reality content is aligned along with the textbook. So for example, this is the class 10th, and the content that I have chosen for augmented reality is chapter number 1. Okay, so the chapter number 1 is chemical reactions and equations. So I need to open that chapter. So this is the chapter. So whenever we are using any augmented reality mobile app, your camera will automatically open and you need to scan that image. So I need, as I have downloaded the content on my mobile app, now I need to scan that image. You can see the camera is automatically open. You are able to see my camera. okay, because the content is being rendered. Now I need to scan that content. You see, when I scan that content,
change takes place on burning of
so
magnesium
this simulation is live. Now I'm closing my textbook.
This lab activity needs the teacher's assistance. Students should wear suitable eyeglasses and laboratory coat. Click on the continue button to continue.
Okay, so it has the different menus. You can see we have the learning where simulation is actually happening. We have the AR camera to remove that background hindrance. Like you can see my hand, so I can put an if I click on this AR camera, so all the background hindrance will be removed. So let me click. You see, now I don't have any hindrance. Now I can perform my simulation perfectly, and I need to follow the instructions. And if you wanted that, say for example, learning objectives are written over there. The students which are unable to listen, they can read that objectives. If you want to hide it, we have a menu. You click on this one, say for example hide, it will be hide automatically. And if you click on this one, it will again be visible. Now you click on the continue button.
Click on the sandpaper to rub it on the surface of the magnesium ribbon to remove the dirt from it.
Okay, so you also follow the instructions, and you can also see the ribbon is being highlighted. Okay, so we need to click on this one.
Magnesium burns due to its reactive nature with oxygen. Click on the continue button to continue.
So click on the continue button.
Click on the tongs to hold the magnesium ribbon on the flame till it catches fire.
So click over there.
Observation. When the magnesium ribbon starts burning, the bright white dazzling light is produced along with formation of white powder of magnesium oxide. Caution. Use safety glasses to see the flame. Click on the continue button when magnesium chemical change. Since in this change a new substance, magnesium oxide is formed with different properties and composition from magnesium and oxygen. It is a chemical change. Click on the continue button to continue. Learning outcomes. We can observe that magnesium ribbon burns with the bright light and produces white powder of magnesium oxide. We can explain that burning of magnesium ribbon is a chemical change. We can use scientific convention to write chemical equation for burning of magnesium ribbon.
Okay, so you have seen that this is one of the simulation that you need to perform in actual laboratory. So if before going to the laboratory, you can also have some virtual hands-on, and you can virtually perform this experiment as many time by using this augmented reality app. Okay, so let me go for the another simulation. So for example, there is another simulation that I will be taking from class 10th, and it's a digestive system. And this digestive system is a concept which is available in your textbook, chapter number 6. So here is the alimentary canal, human alimentary canal. So as I open the app, my camera is automatically be open. It's the same process that we performed in the last experiment. So you need to scan this image. Okay, so it doesn't matter that you have a soft copy of this image, you have a hard copy, you have black and white, you have Xerox, any image will work, but you only require NCERT, this image from NCERT textbook. Okay, so when we scan this image, let me scan.
The human elementary
You see, the simulation is live on my mobile phone. Now I need to close the textbook.
Let us learn about the human elementary canal. Click on any button from the side panel to learn more about it.
Okay, so now again we have the different buttons you can see at the bottom. I'm clicking on the AR camera, so the background hindrance will be no more. now I can perform my simulation perfectly and seamlessly. So if I wanted to remove that the content which is written, so click on the hide description. Okay, now within single simulation you can perform the three type of content, you can render three type of content, whether you wanted to know about the alimentary canal written over here, or maybe you wanted to know about the accessory organs, or maybe you wanted to have the complete process of digestion. Okay, so let's first go to the alimentary canal. Click on this.
Alimentary canal organ. The alimentary canal is the long tube through which the food that we eat is passed. It begins at the mouth, passes through the esophagus or food pipe, stomach, small intestines, large intestines, rectum, and finally ends at the anus.
Okay,
The
so
food particles gradually get digested as they travel through various compartments of the alimentary canal.
you can see, you can rotate this alimentary canal to any side. You can also zoom in, zoom out as much as you want it, and you will see the high definition quality of these simulations which is available over there. Now let's click on the accessory organs.
Accessory organs. Accessory organs are organs which participate in the digestion process but are not actually a part of the alimentary canal. They stimulate the digestion by releasing certain enzymes that help in breaking down the food. For example, pancreas and liver. They stimulate the digestion by chewing and breaking down the food and by releasing certain enzymes which facilitate digestion process. Click
Now-
on the given digestion process button.
Let's perform the process of digestion. So click on this menu and you will have the different small steps that the complete process of digestion. So let's start it with the ingestion.
Ingestion. The very first step involves chewing. The salivary glands.
So you can see the location of the salivary glands. With some time, if we are using some 2D image, so it's very difficult to look upon whether where we have this the salivary glands. So here you can see
Called salivary amylase.
the location. Okay.
Breaks down starch, which is a complex molecule, to give simple sugar. The food is mixed thoroughly with saliva and moved around the mouth while chewing by the muscular tongue. Peristaltic movement. From the mouth, the food is taken to the stomach through the food pipe or esophagus. The lining of canal has muscles that contract rhythmically in order to push the food forward. These peristaltic movements occur all along secretion. The stomach is a large organ which expands when food enters it. The muscular walls of the stomach help in mixing the food thoroughly with digestive juices of
So
stomach,
secretions maybe
liver,
from the
and
gastric glands. You can click on this one.
gastric glands,
From pancreas,
pancreas,
from liver,
liver,
and then we come to the
Liver
process of
secretes the bile
digestion. Okay,
digestion.
within the stomach.
The process of converting complex food particles into
And after digestion,
substances
let's have absorption of food. That's how absorption of food
This
is happening in the
process
small
begins
intestine.
In the small intestine, where most of the nutrients and minerals are absorbed. The walls of the small intestine contain glands which secrete intestinal
And then
juice.
excretion.
Excretion
The undigested food came out of the body.
is sent into the large intestine, where its wall absorbs more water from this material. The rest of the material
So
is removed
likewise,
from the body
you can perform the
by
different simulations. So
the exit of
you can download this app and you can play the content in your own mobile phone, in your own hand. Definitely you require some working internet connections, and I believe that any mobile, any Android phone having the mobile and Android version more than 4.1 is able to handle this type of content. So I hope that you have enjoyed the content from the augmented reality, and I believe that you should try it and give us some the feedback. Now I'm inviting Miss Shrikala from Amrita University, and she will be performing on the identify bleaching powder among given samples of chemicals. She will be demonstrating that experiment on the virtual lab, and also she will be starting with the virtual lab on Diksha with introductions, and then she will proceed towards her topic. So welcome, Shrikala.
Thank you, Dr. Yash. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes. Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay. Hope my screen is visible now to all of you. Yes, sir. Could you please confirm if my screen
Yes,
is
yes, yes,
visible?
yes. It's visible, visible.
Okay, so now today I'll be demonstrating on one of the chemistry experiments, identify bleaching powder among given sample of chemicals. So before that, would like to just touch upon the importance of virtual labs. So as per the surveys, a lot of surveys state that about 75% of these schools lack laboratories, proper laboratory setups, etc. in India. So as per the new recommendations by the National Education Policy, NEP 2020, so they give lot more emphasis on this creation, content creation for the virtual labs to make sure that every student from all corner of India get enough opportunity to practice and perform the STEM practicals, even if there is a lack of laboratory facility, or even if they lack resources, or even in every corners, even if they have the accessibility towards the resources, still as many times they want to practice and perform, virtual laboratories offers such a setup. Now, currently the virtual labs is deployed on the DIKSHA platform. So to reach the DIKSHA platform, you can use any browser. Click, type diksha.government.in. So this will direct you to the home page of the DIKSHA portal, and you could see lot of banners here. So click on the second last banner. This will direct you to the virtual labs. Click on the explore icon. Yeah. So this is the home page for the DIKSHA Virtual Labs portal. So in this portal, in the About Virtual Labs, you could read it and learn more about why we have introduced virtual laboratory and what is the importance of virtual labs in today's education context, etc. If you scroll down, you could see the virtual labs e-content. As of now, we are providing virtual lab contents from grade 6 to grade 12. Yeah. So let me now demonstrate the chemistry experiment, identify bleaching powder among given sample of chemicals. So it's an experiment. Yeah. So it's an experiment for grade 10. It's a chemistry experiment for grade 10. Click on the explore icon. You could see we are providing contents both for Hindi medium and English medium. As of now, the contents are basically available for the English medium. Very soon, we'll be providing it for Hindi medium as well. So for class 10, we have mathematics and science. Click on the science. Yes, this will direct you to the experiment chemistry experiment page for class 10 on the DIKSHA Virtual Labs portal. Scroll down. So on the right, you could see that the experiments are listed. Click on the identify bleaching powder among given sample of chemicals. So if you scroll down, if you scroll down, you could see two things. One is explanation resources and one is the PDF about that experiment, the theoretical aspects about that experiment. Click on that. Yes, scroll up. You could see all the theory and the lab manual content for that particular experiment. Scroll down. Now we can directly go to the experiment. Click on the explanation resources. Scroll up. A screen like this will be visible. Click on the identify bleaching powder among given sample link. So this will direct you straight away to the experiment page. So for every experiment, we provide all the necessary resources that is required for the student to learn the concept of that particular experiment. So if you see under the theory tab, the objective behind performing that particular experiment will be stated, followed by all the theoretical aspect that is related to that experiment will be listed in the theory. And we provide the resources strictly aligning to NCERT lab manual content, and therefore all the learning outcomes of that particular experiment will be listed in the theory tab. Now coming to the procedure tab. So the materials required for performing that particular experiment will be listed. So it is not just the name of the materials are listed. We also provide the images for those particular experiments for the users to understand it in a better way. Scroll down. You could see the real lab procedure on how to perform this experiment in a real physical lab is listed. And also the simulator, our simulator actually mimics the real lab, and therefore we have listed both the real lab simulation procedure and also the simulation procedure. And also the observations and any tabulations or calculations related to that particular experiment also will be provided in the procedure tab. And importantly, what all precaution that a student should take while performing those particular experiment in the laboratory is also given in the procedure. Yes. Now we have the animation tab. So in the animation, we actually the purpose of this animation is to make the student understand or the user understand about the theory, the concept of that particular experiment, plus the detailed procedure on how to perform that particular experiment. Yes, so let us now play the animation. So in the animation also, we will show in detail what are all the materials required to perform that particular experiment. We'll show the arrangement of these chemicals or whatever materials required on the workbench, on the laboratory workbench. Detailed procedure on how to do this experiment.
And stir it gently.
Hope the animation tab is clear for you. Now let's move to the Viva Voice tab. So after performing the experiment, the student can do a self-assessment on their knowledge levels of this particular experiment by attempting these Viva questions. We provide a set of 10 to 15 questions where the student can answer these questions, and once the user answers the question, the system will show how many correct answers and how many wrong answers. And by this way, this is offering a chance for the student to improve their knowledge levels on that particular experiment by making the student to practice the experiments more on the DIKSHA portal. Yeah. In the resources tab, we have listed all the resources that we have referred to prepare the resources for this particular experiment. Then we have our feedback tab. So it's very important to understand the user perspective of the platform so that we can make constant and continuous improvement to provide better user experience. So the users get a chance to answer the questions for the platform enhancement, and we do these improvements as and when required. Now let's move to the simulator where the student actually performs the experiment. So this is the simulation window which really mimics the real lab procedure, and the student will be performing this experiment in this window. So let us start performing this experiment. So in the left side, you could see 4 sample solutions arranged. And this is the control panel where we kind of like arrange the materials required for that particular experiment. Now by default, solution A is selected. Okay, the motive of this experiment is to identify among these 4 solutions which is the bleaching powder solution, okay, which contains bleaching powder. Now let's start performing the experiment. Okay, take the black cotton cloth, dip it into the 50 ml solution. Yes. Now take the forceps, drag that cotton cloth, put it into 20 ml dilute sulfuric acid solution. Now using the glass rod, stir the cotton cloth in the solution. Wait for a while. Now you could see there is no color change happen to that particular cotton cloth because there is no nascent oxygen produced in this reaction, and therefore this particular solution contains no bleaching powder. Okay, now let's test the same with solution C. Yes, now take the cloth again, dip it into the 50 ml solution. Take the forceps, put the cloth into the sulfuric acid solution. Now using the glass rod, stir. Now you would have noticed a color change in the cloth. So this particular solution contains bleaching powder and the nascent oxygen is produced, and because of this reaction the color of the cloth is changed. So you can perform the same thing with the rest of the solution as well. So the objective of the experiment was to identify the bleaching powder among the 4 solutions which is given. So solution C contains bleaching powder, and that is the experiment about. Hope all of you have got an understanding about this particular experiment. And now let me invite Ms. Reshma Bose, Research Coordinator from Amrita University, to present on a physics experiment. Thank you.
So that's a really very wonderful presentation by Shri Kalaji. Thank you very much. So as you have seen that these virtual labs are basically available on DIKSHA portal, which host a large number of content where you can actually perform the experiments as per the NCERT manual virtually. So where you have find out that it gives the introduction about the experiment and then the procedure for both real lab experiments and for the virtual lab experiment also. Then they have the animation that how you can proceed with your simulation, and then the video is also available over there to help you and with along with the complete procedure, and you can actually perform with the help of simulations, and you didn't require to install any mobile applications. It works seamlessly with any mobile browser, and the content is available within the DIKSHA mobile app and portal. Okay, and you can also perform the Viva boss where you can check your knowledge that no, you have done this experiment, and then you can perform this experiment. So now, as Shrikala has said, that now we are inviting Miss Reshma Bose, that she will be demonstrating on conversion of galvanometer to voltmeter from physics subjects. So now, welcome Reshma Bose.
Thank you, sir. And
Welcome.
very warm good morning to all the teachers. So, Srikala has explained clearly on how to use the DIKSHA platform to access the virtual labs. I'm not going into that in detail. So, when you go to the DIKSHA platform, this is how the virtual labs page looks like, as explained earlier. Now I am going to show you the experiment conversion of galvanometer to voltmeter for class 12. So click on explore, and two mediums are provided, Hindi and English. So for today I am going to select the English medium. Gradually we will be adding on the Hindi medium too. So translation will be provided in Hindi. Click on the physics experiment. As you can see, the physics lab manual for each experiment is clearly explained. Now, I'm going to show you the conversion of galvanometer to voltmeter. Now, what you see on the screen is two links. So I'm going to select the second link because we are going to do that experiment today. Now, this is how the whole page looks like. As Sri Galat said earlier, this is a complete lab experience that students are going to get through the lab, through this virtual lab. Okay, I'm not going to explain in details, just brushing you through the tabs: theory, procedure, animation, simulator, Viva, resources, and feedback, which was clearly explained by Srikala. I'm going to go directly to the simulator. So first one, from the affordances that you see on your left side, you can select the galvanometer. See the changes that are happening on the screen when I keep on selecting. See 120 ohms, 100 ohms, 80 ohms. So now I'm going to select the first one, galvanometer 1, and enter the value here and click on submit. When I submit it, a green tick appears and a next button appears. Now, as said earlier, both the procedures are explained clearly in the procedure tab here, but if the student is not sure, help tab is also provided to seek help when they are using the simulator. Now click on next, and here, as visible on the screen, we have tried to provide you with a real lab image and exposure so that the student finds it easy to use. When you check on the white tab, the circuit diagram and how to connect it is shown here. Uncheck it. Now the student, before the student starts the experiment, he or she can always click on this to check it and then start making the connection. So as you can see, when I'm trying to make the connections, the area where I have to connect it gets highlighted. So it becomes more easier to make the connections. So let's start making the connections. So the simulator actually is very interesting for students when used in classroom. You can do it individually or in groups. You can take them to the lab and make them do it anyway according to the convenience. Now, once again, if you want, you can check it. Now let's select the resistance. Now, when I clicked on this, as you saw, here the resistance key becomes active. So now click on the insert key button, and now you can select from the rheostat whichever value you prefer. And the best part here is we have provided you with the tables here itself so that the student can keep on trying the experiment again and again. So I'll show you how to do it. So to add, just click on plus, as you can see here. This can be saved, print can be taken. So let's see, let's do one and see. Here, again, select another value, let's say 20. So like that, the student can keep on doing with the experiment, and once it is done, if possible, they can be saved for the teacher to check it later, or even a printout can be taken. Now, in order to redo the experiment, click on the reset tab, and again you will be taken back to the first page, and then the next galvanometer can be selected and from the affordances, and the children can redo the experiments. This is the use of a simulator. This helps in easy understanding of the experiment. I hope teachers did understand by now how easy it becomes to explain an experiment in class using the simulator. So even the teacher can do it in the class or make one of the students do it. So it is the bright ones as well as the ones who need a little support. This is the best option. So I hope you will use this to the maximum. And once done, as explained earlier, Viva questions will help the students do it again and again. So Viva questions can be attempted as many times as possible as they want. If the answer is correct, a tick mark appears. If the answer is wrong, a cross appears, and then it can be redone. So that's all from my side. I hope I was clear, and please do give your feedback. It is actually what we need from your viewpoint is very important for us. Now, that is all from the chemistry experiment. Now moving on to the that is all from the physics experiment. Now moving on to the next experiment. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Reshma ji. That was a fantastic presentation. And the learner, you must have seen that not only to perform the simulation, but there is a provision to input your data also. Okay, so you can plot the graphs accordingly, you may download the data, and also you can check your performance in the Viva boards. If there is a correct option, it will give the green. If there is a not correct or false, then you can have that, you can recheck it again by resetting it. Okay, so now the next simulation, I'm inviting Amrita Suryaji, and the experiment they are performing on study of plant population density by gradient method. This is a belief from the biology. Here you will also see, because on all labs or virtual labs, these labs are available on the DIKSHA portal, and they have the same set type that we have the different tabs like introduction, procedure, simulations, and then you have the video and animation, Viva voice, and also you can submit your feedback on the DIKSHA portal. So let me welcome Amrita Surya.
Good morning to all. I'm Amrita Surya, and now I'm going to present virtual labs, and now I'll share my screen. I'm going to take a grade 12, and here again when we click on explore, it will show both two mediums, Hindi and English. We'll choose English, and in English I'll choose biology, and again the same lab manual for biology will be presented here, and I'm going to take the experiment plant population density by quadrat method, and here again we'll go for plant population density quadrat method, and scroll up and click on the link. It leads to the new page with the theory, procedure, animation, simulator, viva voice, resource, and feedback. And as well as said before, theory, you can see everything related to the concept, and in procedure you can see the materials required and the real lab procedure and observation and the simulator procedure which we are going to do. Next is the animation, and in animation this the same simulator or the real lab procedure will be shown in the form of video, and the viva is for the questions, MCQ, which will be done, and if you submit and you can see the correct answers. And last is the resources. In resources, we will see more about the other same content with the different resources. And the last is the feedback. And next, we'll go for the simulator. In simulation, you can see the screen, and here you can select the environment. The environments are school, home, roadside, riverside, and a factory side. And when you click on school, in screen you can see the environment, school, and the 7 quadrats. And you can see in panel you can see 6 species and a reset button. So when you click on quadrant 1, and here you can see the 6 species in this quadrant, and you can make it in you can see and you can count it, and you can fill it in the form, the worksheet which is given below. Species 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And when you click on the back button, again it shows the normal full page, and again you click on second quadrant. Same ways you can do it for all the 7 quadrats, and you can fill it in the worksheet. And for the calculation, you can see the equations which is shown in the procedure. The equation is density is equal to total number of individuals of species in all sapling units, which is denoted as S, and divided by total number of sapling units studied, it's denoted by Q. And this is the example observation here. D is equal to S by Q. And the density value thus will obtained is expressed as the number of individuals per unit area. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Amrita Suryaji. That was a beautiful presentation where we can actually perform the ecological surveys within the biological subject, and you have the possibility that virtually you have the different quadrant, and you can select the quadrant, and you can also change the ambience where you want to conduct that experiment. That might be in school or maybe in outside, and you also select the different plants species which are available to have that quadrant, and you can have the formula where you can actually find out about the biodiversity which is available in that area approximately. So the next presentation, I'm inviting again Ms. Shrikala. She will be demonstrating on mathematics and in languages. So content in almost all subjects is available on the DIKSHA portal, and you can perform these experiments as a virtual lab on DIKSHA portal. So I'm inviting Shrikala to have a demonstration on some maths and in language, specifically in English. Shrikala ji, please.
Thank you, Dr. Yash. Hope I am visible.
Yes. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Please carry on.
Yes. So let's now go to the math virtual lab. So always learning and understanding the complex mathematical applications and problems. For example, mathematical theories, axioms are very difficult actually. Even if we teach it to the students may apply it in the formulas, or like they may apply it while doing the problems, but really understanding the logic and logic behind those theory or those mathematical application, that we are intending to provide through the experimentation procedure via virtual labs. Okay, so let's now go to the demonstration for the maths experiment. So let me share my screen. Go to the grade 10. So from that, please click on mathematics. That will direct you to the maths experiment page on the DIKSHA platform. So today I'm going to show a demo of the experiment, Pythagoras theorem. So if you see, there are two links available. One is activity PDF and explanation resources. If you click on the activity PDF, that will show the entire theoretical lab manual content for that particular experiment. Let's straight away go to the simulation where the user actually can perform the experiment. Select the explanation resources. Yeah, from the visible screen, click on the Pythagoras theorem link. Yeah, so hope you're all clear about other resources like theory, procedure, self-evaluation, reference, etc. Now we can jump directly to the simulation where the user can perform the experiment actually. Yes. Click on the start icon. So this is the workbench where the student have to perform the experiment. So you can see on the left side, the instructions are clearly given. The student or the user have to just align to that instruction and perform the experiment. So first we have to create a right angle triangle, and in the input box we need to enter the height and the base. So randomly it is showing as 100 and 50. Let's go by that. Yeah. The one thing here is, as Dr. Yash mentioned, the user can actually give the input values. Accordingly, the triangle will be, the right angle triangle will be generated on the workbench. Yes. Now click on the next. Yes. Now the right angle triangle is already available on the workbench. Click on height. We have clicked on the hypotenuse. Now click on the base and now click on the height. Yes. So you could see three squares are formed. Squares are formed on all the sides. Now let us fill it with the distinct colors. By clicking on each squares, you could see that the squares are now with distinct colors. Now let us click on the base square to draw the diagonal. Yes, you could see a diagonal is drawn in the particular square which is clicked. Yes. Now let us click on the hypotenuse to generate a parallel line. Let's drag it to a position where it touches the ends of the blue square. Yes. Now let us double click on the parallel line. Yes. Now there is an input box generated on the left. Yes. Now the quadrilaterals are generated. Now we have to place those in the right positions. Drag those quadrilaterals and rearrange appropriately in the square which is along the hypotenuse. This way the student get a clear understanding about what the theorem is stating to prove. So we could see the squares are placed in appropriate positions and the particular experiment is demonstrated. So you could see the entire area of the square along the base of the triangle plus entire area of the square along the area of the square along the hypotenuse is aligned, and therefore what we are going to prove is the area along the hypotenuse is always the sum of the area of square along the base plus the area of square along the height into, yes, so that is what we prove. and which is hypotenuse square is base square plus height square. Hence, the Pythagoras theorem is proved. Hope you have got a clear understanding about the simulation for Pythagoras theorem. Let's now move to the language lab. Again, we can go to the DIKSHA portal, click on grade 8, click on the explore icon. In the English medium, click on English. Yes, let's perform an activity to learn the tense conversion activity. Click on the explanation resources for this particular experiment. Click on tense conversion. For English as well, we provide all the necessary resources like theory and procedure, and also the self-evaluation, self-assessment for the students to perform and understand their knowledge level about this particular experiment. Yes, let's jump on to simulation. Yeah, start. Let's start. Click on the start icon and the, yeah. So it is asking for the user information where you can type your username. I'm typing Shrikala here. Start. Okay, you could see, yeah, we can perform any kind of tense conversion here. So let us start with a conversion of simple present tense to a present continuous tense. So the sentence which is given is Paul drinks a coffee. Now what we have to do is we have to drag and drop the appropriate words to make the sentence into a present continuous tense. Yes. Now let's put Paul is drinking a coffee. Now let's check if that is right or wrong. Click on the submit icon. Yes, it's showing whatever main verb and helping verb that we have inserted is right, and the simple present tense is converted to the present continuous tense. So let's attempt another one example. It is, the sentence is Kevin drives the scooter. So we need to put the appropriate verbs from the word repository by dragging and dropping. Yes, click on the submit. Okay, you could see the answers that we have entered are correct. If it is wrong, it will show that it's wrong, and we can perform the experiment as many times by inserting the proper verbs until we get a correct answer. So this is a better way to learn and the English grammar concepts through DIKSHA virtual labs. So hope the simulation that I've explained is clear to the audience. And Dr. Yash, yeah.
That was really very interactive presentation, and the learner, you must have seen that the content is actually very interactive, and not interactive, it's actually immersive. So for example, in augmented reality. Okay, so here we have demonstrated the content from the virtual lab which is available on the DIKSHA, and the content in augmented reality from ePathshala mobile app, and hope you will try this content at your own place. And the content that you have seen in case of ePathshala augmented reality app, you need to download that app from the Play Store, and the content is provided by the NCERT, which is reviewed by the experts. So there is not an issue of using that any content. And from the virtual lab, which is also reviewed as per our own specification from the NCERT, and all the content in case of ePathshala mobile app augmented reality, the content is aligned with NCERT textbook. Okay, so you must have that textbook with you. It doesn't matter it's a soft copy or hard copy or Xerox, because you need to scan that particular image for which the concept you are going to discuss with your learners, or maybe you are reading at your home. In case of virtual lab, all the content is aligned along with the laboratory manuals that is prepared by the NCERT, and as we have shown that you have a separate vertical on virtual lab on DIKSHA. You can search as we have shown you on the Google itself, and it's also available on one of the banner on the DIKSHA portal, where you can actually perform these experiments. and doesn't require to install any mobile app. It seamlessly work with any browser. Okay, any browser you can use on your mobile phone or on your laptop or computers. And also you can directly, if you have the DIKSHA mobile app, you can directly go from there. And the content is very interactive. If you have a laboratory in your school, before going to the actual laboratory, you can perform these simulations on virtual, okay, on virtual mode, where you can perform endlessly n number of time, and then you can perform these experiment on your actual laboratory. And if you don't have the laboratory, you will have the glimpse that how actually things works if you work it on the virtual, on the DIKSHA portal. So we have 1.5 minutes. So if you have any question or query as far as this session is concerned, so please let us ask so that we can address right away now. Okay, so since a lot of people have raised their hand, so I will be asking Manoj Sembwal to unmute yourself, because we have it seems a lot of queries over there. So please, Manoj ji. Am I audible to Manoj ji? Please quickly. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please. Good afternoon. Please ask quickly, because we have a lot of people and we have very less time.
No question, sir. No question.
Okay, so not an issue. So you can, if you have any question, query, you definitely have our IVRS numbers with you. That is on our all DTH channels, PME, with available over there. And you can also write to our Joint Director CIT and NCERT anytime, and definitely we'll be addressing any query. So thank you. Tomorrow we will again have a session on demonstrating this virtual lab and ePathshala mobile app, and we will see how you can demonstrate the other content which is available. So till then you can try it. So thank you very much all. Thank you.